Let's get right into it, shall we? I am absolutely thrilled to guide you through some truly fascinating material today. We're going to unpack an incredibly profound text, originally delivered as an Islamic lecture or tawsiyah, that honestly completely reframes how we view what most of us just write off as a boring, everyday chore. We're looking at the sanctity of cleanliness, nurturing a serene soul. Because it turns out, grabbing a broom or folding your laundry is actually a powerful, deeply rooted tool for your mental health and spiritual well-being. We're going to break down the exact mechanisms of how physical order creates inner peace. And I promise you, by the end of this explainer, you are going to look at your weekend chores in a totally different light.
Think about this for a second. Have you ever felt calm after tidying your room? Or maybe you felt that sudden, kind of inexplicable physical lightness right after deep cleaning your house? I want you to just pause and really remember that exact feeling. That deep exhale when everything is finally in its place. Well, according to our source material today, that feeling is absolutely not a coincidence. It's not just the satisfaction of checking a task off your to-do list. That immediate physical and mental relief, that is the profound wisdom of clean living. It's an act that doesn't just refresh our eyes, it actively heals our souls. We're going to explore the deeper why behind that feeling right now.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today's explainer. We'll start with the mirror of faith and soul, examine the science behind clean spaces, explore the therapy of sweeping and washing, look at the contagious effect of clean environments, and finally, share some small steps for inner peace. Let's get started. Section 1, Mirror of Faith and Soul.
So before we even touch on the psychology of a clean room, we've got to establish a foundational premise, and that is, physical tidiness is intimately, inextricably connected to the state of your inner soul. We see this beautifully in the teaching At-Tahuru Shatrul Iman, which translates to cleanliness is half of faith. Now, this is a profound, foundational teaching from the Prophet Muhammad recorded in Sahih Muslim. The text we're analyzing points out something vital here. Being clean, it's not merely a physical matter. It is the active, physical expression of an organized, clear heart. When we maintain cleanliness in our surroundings, we are, in essence, caring for our faith and our spiritual center. And a well-cared-for spiritual center is exactly what cultivates true inner peace. Your outward environment is simply the mirror reflecting your inward state.
Section 2, The Science Behind Clean Spaces. Now, what's really interesting about this is how modern science completely validates this ancient wisdom. Just imagine two totally distinct environments. Picture a space full of garbage, unpleasant smells, and just utter clutter everywhere. Now picture the exact opposite, a space that is tidy, fragrant, and bright. The source asks a brilliant question. In which of these spaces does your heart feel more comfortable? The image in your head alone probably evokes a physical reaction, right? Our brains are hardwired to process our visual environment, so when that environment is chaotic, well, our internal state becomes chaotic too. And contemporary psychological research has proven exactly what happens when we choose the tidy space. Modern science shows that a clean environment directly reduces stress and anxiety. It literally removes the visual noise that exhausts our brains, which in turn improves our focus and our daily productivity. And it doesn't stop there. Sleeping in a tidy room actually promotes a much sounder, more restful sleep. Ultimately, existing in an organized space actively fosters feelings of gratitude and happiness. Basically, your physical environment is quietly dictating your mental clarity every single minute of the day. 14. The source material emphasizes this number with a real sense of awe, and you'll see why. Islamic traditions recognize these exact psychological benefits a full 14 centuries ago. Think about that, a full 14 centuries before modern psychological research and clinical studies caught up to prove that our physical spaces dictate our mental health. This wisdom was already being practiced as a clear pathway to peace. That is absolutely staggering when you really think about it.
Let's move on and see how this builds. Section 3, Therapy of Sweeping and Washing. So how do we take this grand idea of mental clarity and actually apply it to, say, a random Tuesday evening when the house is just a complete mess? Well, the source material offers this beautiful, almost poetic reframing of our daily tasks. When you're sweeping the floor, the physical rhythm of the broom, back and forth, it isn't just removing dust. You are simultaneously sweeping away the tangled, anxious thoughts in your mind. It completely transforms a mundane chore into an active, meditative form of mental therapy. You're bringing order to the floor, and in doing so, you're bringing order to your racing mind.
And the exact same applies to laundry. As you're washing clothes, scrubbing away the dirt and stains, you are symbolically washing away the burdens of a heavy heart. The text highlights a really crucial takeaway here.
Living clean is all about intention and awareness. It extends far, far beyond just soap and water. If you approach these chores with the conscious intention of clearing your mind, the physical act itself actually becomes a powerful release valve for emotional weight.
Which naturally takes us to Section 4, the contagious effect of clean environments.
And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we zoom out a bit. We've talked about your personal space, sure, but this deeply personal habit radiates outward to affect absolutely everyone around us. A clean environment acts as a really powerful catalyst for social harmony. When you invite someone into a clean space, you are instantly inviting comfort. It makes other people feel inherently valued and respected. This immediately cultivates a positive atmosphere, it strengthens our relationships, and it dramatically reduces interpersonal conflict. When we're all existing in a state of mutual respect and orderly surroundings, harmony is just the natural byproduct. Mental health isn't just about the individual, it's about living in harmony with the people around us.
Finally, Section 5, small steps for inner peace.
So the crucial point is this. We've covered the history and the science, but knowledge is really only as good as its application. A serene soul doesn't just appear overnight. It grows step by step from these simple, truly achievable daily habits. Start small. Just mindfully tidy your desk or dispose of trash in its proper place. From there, you can introduce a spiritual dimension, like performing ritual washing or wudu with deep focus and mindfulness. And finally, just as you clean your physical space, actively work to keep your heart clean from prejudice and negativity. These might seem like small actions, but they compound into a massive shift in your daily mental state.
Our source beautifully summarizes this entire concept. It says, "Cleanliness is light. When the house is clean, the heart shines. When the body is clean, the mind shines. And when the environment is clean, life feels lighter." This is exactly why all of this matters. Keeping our environments clean is absolutely not about perfectionism. It's a direct, highly accessible way to lighten our daily emotional burdens and really let our inner self shine clearly.
I want to leave you with one final, provocative thought today. If the simple act of cleaning a room can actively clear your mind and soothe your soul, which corner of your life will you tidy up today? Take that inspiration, pick just one small space, and start your own positive feedback loop of peace. Thank you so much for exploring this explainer with me today.